Murder in a Small Town's second episode of Season 2 is all about weddings and family conflicts, but does it conclude happily? Having your second daughter meet your librarian girlfriend is also uncommon in Gibson's, despite the fact that murder seems to be a typical occurrence there. Even though the season has only just begun, the one thing that irritates me is that everything always ends the same way, that is, with Cassandra and Karl recognizing their lives together are far too complicated, but they will still manage to figure it out. Although this was undoubtedly one of the show's more thrilling episodes, I'm still baffled as to why a town has so many killings. Where Cassandra and others are trying to establish themselves as a center for the arts. Very intriguing, isn't it? Having said that, let's go right into Season 2 Episode 2. Murder in a Small Town's second episode opens with a behind-the-scenes look at a thrilling wedding in Gibson's. However, given that they have been at odds for 3 generations, the two parties involved make for an entirely unexpected combination. As everything appears joyful and enthusiastic, the bride's father's body falls to the ground. But why and by whom was he killed? Although the suspects in this episode are quite clear, the final offender was shockingly unexpected, in contrast to the rest of the series. We learn about the Taits and the Connellys in this episode. Griff Connelly's daughter and Jocelyn Tait's son have fallen in love, forcing the two wealthy families to share a room. Given that Jocelyn blames Griff for the wedding taking place on the anniversary of her husband's death, yikes, this already appears to be a serious problem. But I don't believe he physically killed the man. On the evening of the rehearsal dinner, Sylvia, the bride, is left alone. Her father is also missing, in addition to her soon-to-be spouse. She is already anxious, but to make matters worse, her younger brother insults the Taits and causes a scene after consuming too much booze. Even worse, he punches the best man in the face, which results in the cops being called and no more meals. Given how much Jocelyn despises Griff, it goes without saying that she is the first suspect. However, despite her animosity against Sylvia's father, she was thrilled about the wedding and sincerely wanted it to take place. It's also intriguing that the man had to pass away the day before Jocelyn's husband did, which gives the impression that there is a plot of retaliation, even though there isn't. Jocelyn was present at the dinner, but her son was absent for an extended period of time. After all the commotion had occurred, he arrived much too late. This indicates that the only two individuals who were absent from the event were him and Griff. However, he says that because he was anxious and didn't want Sylvia to know, he went out purchasing drugs at a seedy bar in the downtown area and became preoccupied with the whole thing. She didn't want him to do drugs, so she kept the entire situation a secret. But Jocelyn persuades Sylvia that the wedding shouldn't be called off because he just made a mistake. I suppose she just wants her son to be happy, but I'm not too sure about that, ma'am. But in the middle of all the confusion, Karl has a capable group of researchers who work together to discover that Griff owned the Rockwater Resort, where the wedding was held, as of the week before the wedding. As it turns out, the resort's owner, Leland, didn't want him to destroy it and ruin his family's lives the way he had done with the Taits. Although it defies logic that a man in a wheelchair could be strong enough to strangle a 6-foot-tall man to death, I suppose it does happen in Gibson's. In the end, he was the one who destroyed their life since his wife disposed of the body for him. In any case. Even worse, Sylvia's brother wants Sylvia to marry her son, and after all of that, he almost slices Jocelyn's neck because he believes she killed his father. Too many lives have been damaged by this feud, so she wants it to end permanently. She thinks that this one wedding will magically unite them, but will she truly be able to forgive Sylvia's brother? He's simply young, I suppose. Holly's sister Steph pays them a visit in episode 2, and similar to Holly's response to Cassandra, Steph is not pleased to see her father moving on. Cassandra says she's not disturbed by the fact that she was anticipating someone lot more frumpy. Steph will succeed, just as Holly did. Although Steph dislikes Cassandra's constant presence, Holly takes her to the town council meeting, where the mayor makes the decision to put Cassandra on the spot. She does, however, a great job of demonstrating to the residents that she truly cares about the area and always has. Additionally, there's something regarding her mother, however, I'm not sure what kind of secret the mayor is keeping that he might use against Cassandra in the near future. Holly and Steph watch as Cassandra uses her public speaking abilities and fierce personality to overthrow the mayor. They've bonded over how plump librarians should appear, and it appears like Steph is impressed enough to stay longer. Steph is the one who reminds Karl at the end of Murder in a Small Town episode 2 that he should apologize to Cassandra for missing the council meeting and that people can be a little absent for the people they love. How long will Cassandra be able to accept Karl's police work, even though she appears to understand it? The two girls who made it rather than him, however, had the answer. The couple appears to be dedicated and capable of overcoming any challenge. However, Sam appears to be having some difficulties with her 15-year-old daughter. She looks too much like his sister.